Hey! So I'm still going strong on the FJ Cruiser here, and today I'm going to work on the floor pan and front inner fender. Got a couple of interesting little, almost homemade kind of homebrew fixes. You know, I don't really know what to say, but it's not, you can't just buy these parts, of course. So what I decided I was going to do was put an actual steel floor pan in it. I was seriously considering just doing a styrene floor pan or aluminum or something like that, but the problem I have with that is I don't want it to get hung up on the rocks. So aluminum I don't want to use because it gouges and gets caught in the rocks. I didn't want to do the styrene because the styrene would actually go on the inside of the floor, not on the outside. And then I would have the cross members here that would be sticking up, sticking down, catching rocks. So, you know, there would be nothing to guide the rocks sort of over top of this rib here. So, to do that, first of all, I needed some cardstock and I needed some sheet metal. So, what I ended up doing was I went to the dollar store and I bought this huge pan. This is 17 inches by 11 inches. It's a great big cookie sheet. It's just a single layer of steel, and it has a non-stick coating on it on both sides. Doesn't matter. You don't cook with it upside down, so I don't know why they put it on the bottom. But anyway, I guess it's kind of corrosion proof that way. So what that ends up meaning for me is that I got my cardstock. I already actually had some, but this is the perfect kind of cardstock for making templates before you start cutting styrene or metal or whatever. This is the kind of cardstock you want. It's a thin piece of cardboard, but it's thicker than paper, so it holds its shape better. It's a lot easier to work with, and then when you're scribing lines afterwards, you'll need the heavier cardstock. So what I did is I took my cardstock and I just sort of sawed it up with the scissors until I kind of got it in the width that I needed and the length I needed. You can see I drew some stuff on it here for the back. I'll show you that in a minute. But basically what I ended up doing with it then is I bent it. The other reason you use cardstock is because it holds its shape really well. So I actually bent it in the places where I would want the steel to be bent. See what I did there? So this is actually the inner fender for the Yoda. I got the floor pan here. This is the rear. And then it goes down into the floor pan and it goes up at the footwell and then into the front fender well here. You can kind of see that on the camera. And in the engine bay side, I was able to just mark it for the engine bay with the pencil, and then I rolled the material inward so it kind of makes a little splash deflector there, and that'll go right there around the motor. So the way this fits in the car is pretty great actually, because it's already sort of pre-bent. You just kind of start at one end and then you form fit it into wherever you think you're going to need it. And then because it's bent, it just sort of holds its shape by itself in there. And then I ended up with that. So what this is now is a really nice template that makes my wheel wells finished up. It gives me the full floor pan. It does the footwell for the interior. And I have the front inner fender as well, and it has a little splash deflector for the motor. Now, this isn't staying up very well. It's not fastened anywhere yet, but you'll get the idea. This sort of goes around the shock tower, kind of like that. So you can still see some of the motor in there. It's kind of level with the frame. You'll get the idea when it's on. And I don't really know how the picture quality is going to be on this recording. I'm trying to use a bit of a wider angle on the recording so that you can kind of see more of the bench, and it's trying to get more data into the same picture in the same space. So anyways, a little bit wider angle. Hope it works out. I'm going to try to hold this and flip it over so you can sort of see how that'll look inside. Let me see if I can do that. So you can see I've got this uncut piece here for the rear. The rear will get trimmed out for where the seat goes and a seat post and all that, but I've got the floor pan pretty much in. And now you can see on the floor pan the tube, that crosser tube that holds the cage together, that part is actually inside the cab, which means on the bottom, the screw fell out, on the bottom it's flat, and that's kind of what I was looking for, was that flat floor pan on the bottom so that it doesn't get hung up on all the rocks. I'm not expecting that I'm going to get any kind of great results at East Coast Scale Challenge in Class 2, because I'm not a very good driver, and this is not a very competitive truck as far as Class 2 competition trucks builds go. But you know, the least I can do is increase my chances by having a flat slider. Okay, so and that as you can see, it continues right up into the footwell and then right into the inner fender. So what I'm going to do now is actually take this template and saw out my my metal using this. What I've done so far is, this might be impossible to see. Oh, you can see it right there. There's a little scribe line, you see that? What I've done is actually laid the cardboard over top of the metal, and then I scribed a line all the way through the covering, the sort of the coating on the metal with the X-Acto knife, so I can see where to cut. And then I sliced my nice cooking pan right in half. I'm going to give some credit here to Betty Crocker for making a nice floor pan. Good job. I sliced it in half, and then I've got two pieces here, you see, and I clamped them together. So when I saw this out, I'm going to end up with two pieces the same, and I'm not exactly sure if my template is going to be exactly the same on both sides. You know, it's custom fab metalwork, so I'm not really expecting it to be perfect. But at least this way, if I cut them both at the same time, I have some kind of chances of having them both be sort of similar. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to cut this out, and after it's chopped, I will do the bends similar to the way this is done on my template, and we will try to do a test fit and see how it goes. And then I'll be one step closer to having the metalwork side done. So be back in a minute with some cut metal. Let's hope it goes well. A bit of a guess, I guess, about kind of how that's going to work. Basically, I just took the paper and laid it over top and marked out where I thought my bends kind of should be. And I kind of think I did this one wrong. Kind of think it's backwards. Yeah, I think it is. So I'll fix that, and then we'll do a test fit and see how that worked out. Might be okay. We'll see. Kind of funny looking, actually. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. I haven't deburred the edges or anything yet, but I kind of like that the little rolled lip on the inside for the, you know, that'll kind of keep it strong for the engine bay. You'll notice that the template that I made earlier was for this side. Some of you probably already picked up on that. And what I ended up doing when I put the template on the metal to cut it was I started bending this, but I marked all the joints on the other side. See how this is notched out here at this end. So because this was notched and I had it on the other side, the bends all were the opposite way, which means now I have a piece for this side. Kind of cool. And after a little frigging around, it pretty much goes in right where I wanted it to go. I'm going to have to obviously do a little bit of trimming and a little bit of tinkering around, but for the most part, we pretty much have it. You can see it lines up not bad, actually. Lines up not too bad. And then it rolls right into the wheel well. So I've got this nice flat, smooth sort of slider, which is really what they're for. And on the inside, I ended up with a floor pan. And that's kind of what I wanted. So now I've got this nice rolled floor pan with a giant footwell. And I'm really happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and put the other side on. get that bent up, and I'll weld them in, and then I'll show off a couple of shots at the end of the video here with where the floor pans are at. And I'm kind of glad that I'm waiting for my axles to come in, because that gave me a chance to get this in and out a million times without having to take that off again anyways. That would have been totally in the way. The good news is that after this and mounting the rear light pods, I should be done with all the cage welding, so that's a royal success. And I will see you guys soon. Take a look for pictures at the end of the video for how the finished floor pans worked out. Cheers, see you later.